All right, what's going on, people? You see I got the SP404 on the desk. And yeah, so this is also a sound test. So I'm recording using the iPhone. So my voice is being picked up through there. And I also have the H6 little field recorder that I have the SP running into, and I also have the mic. So I want to show like the difference in quality. So here's me talking into it now. I think you can see the levels over there jumping. And I'm gonna put this or actually look at this, right? So it's on the table, and if I like rub the table, yeah. So I'm gonna put this over there because we don't need all that. All right, so the video. When I was in Japan, I met a teacher, just this phenomenal finger drummer. I reached out to him. I'm like, hey man, can you teach me? Like he was teaching, so he had students, and I'm like, can you teach me how to finger drum? And he's like, honestly, I don't think there's anything I could teach you. What you do is amazing. And I'm like, yeah, but I can't finger drums. Like, you don't have to. What you do is perfectly fine. Like, nah, I want to finger drum. First lesson he showed me is you need to put the pads in a way that makes sense. Like, it has to be consistent. Like, in this case, my kick is always here, and my snares are, I guess in case of this, is always going to be 10 and 11. My kick 13 and 9, and then 14, 15 different sounding kicks. Open hi-hat, and then 12 and 16 are closed hi-hats. So this works for me. So with the right hand is a stronger hand, so I could like, and you just keep doing that. As you practice, you'll get faster and faster. And then the left hand is mostly handling that part and switching the patterns. But eventually I want to get up in here and twist some knobs, but that is some kung fu mental judo. But anyway, the basics, right? You start with something simple. So you start with your, and then you bring in just a simple, and then when you feel better, and then a little faster, and then try to do it faster. And then once you master that, then you could try like syncopated. Or maybe that swing. So that's basically all it was that he showed me on the first day. I went home, I set up my little drum kit, I was practicing. And then it just got easier. I'm not at the point where I could be at a show and rapping like, I'm on the microphone rapping. Okay, I guess it just happened. But either way, because now that's a lot of things to juggle, and you got the people watching you. And like, as I said, my teacher in Japan, we say sensei for everything. You might know from martial arts, but senseis. When MPC introduced the new, so he had the older MPC, they sent him an MPC for free because he's that good. I'm like, they gotta send me some shit. All right, so on the SP, now let's say you want to add a sample in there, right? So we're gonna switch banks and we're gonna import. All right, so we're going into our samples. All right, so here's our new sample that we're gonna take off of Gate. Can't wait till the update comes where it just automatically is ungated. Who wants it to be gated to begin with? Or we get an option depending on your preference. All right, here's a sample. think that will work. So we're gonna go into chat mode, and let's go. So I'm just cutting like 4 bars, give or take. All right. You're gonna go to your menu button, push menu, assign to pads, and right now you can't see the screen, but if you have an SP, you know what it says, right? So it's saying it's gonna be in B, but let's say I didn't want it in B, I want it in J. Hit Shift, choose your new bank, and as you shift and hit the banks, you'll see it change up there. Then, very important, you have to hit mark. If you don't hit mark, it's just gonna put it back in C, and you'll be like, I didn't want it in C. And if you had stuff on there, it's just gonna overwrite it. So it's very important. You keep holding down Shift, you hit mark, and now you'll see that it'll turn green because it's open or it's going in there. You'll see that it says J, and now you can hit enter. Now it's going to put it in there. Once you get that workflow down, I mean, I don't like it like that, but that's what they want you to do, and that's what we got to do. All right, so now I got. So the next thing you got to do is you got to put them into a freaking mute group. Again, in one of the updates, it's just automatically going to be a mute. It's going to be in a mute group, so you don't have to do that extra step. Now, because I was chopping the way I was, basically chopping every 4 bars on the beat to the best of my ability, I could kind of jump around. All right, and the other thing you want to do is just go to pitch and hit copy, because they're in the same group, and you're gonna just turn down the volume a little bit because that was a little high. All right, so now. And we're gonna put this down here. For the pattern, I like to tap out the patterns. I don't trust. So we're gonna make a like an 8-bar loop, and 108. I'm not sure if 108 is. So 108 is what it's saying right there, but we're gonna come back into our sample. All right, and going into tap tempo. All right, it's saying 116. So we're gonna come out, go to pattern, hit record. Anything will do. Coming up to 116, because that's what we tapped out. All right, we're gonna do an 8-bar loop. And this is another feature that maybe we'll get. It just automatically, we could set presets or templates. Because 4 bars, 8 bars, I don't need to be going in there all the time. All right, so that's like that. And hit record, find your samples. And we're going to do that third part. All right, so now we got that loop coming out. So now that it's looped, we can go to our full kit. Now, if you look at the colors, Why are my drums affected here? What? Alright. Alright, so explain what happened. So these drums are on a bus group. They should be, so to make sure it's not affected by the effects, you want to hit remain, and when they're white, depending on how you set your pads. So then, when your loop is playing, go here, go here. Alright, so now your loop is playing. You could affect it, but your drums are okay. But yeah, I'm just messing around. I'm still practicing, but this is what I was just working on. So the next issue is how to switch from bank to bank, because you only get this much. And if your drum kit takes up a whole thing, you need to go to a different bank. I mean, you don't have to, but because of the way it's set up, you can't really add new things to it, so you just have to have things. So I was thinking of putting all the samples in the same mute group, but you only get 16, so you'd have to have whatever your transition would be on the same mute group. So when you switch over to the next bank, mute the next one so you can get something playing. Otherwise, you're gonna have this happen and have to do one of those while your show is going on. So workarounds and all that. But hopefully this makes sense, and hopefully it gets some people excited to try it out. All right, peace.